Welcome back to the Dynasty Football Key. I've got another draft to show you. This is my home league that I've been in for what feels like about 10 years. It's the Happy Friends Home for Long-Term Fantasy Football Fun League, and I had a lot of fun with this one. We were waiting to get the draft rules put in place. One of the guys went ahead and jumped the gun, so wasn't able to get this recorded as it was going, but going to do a little bit of a recap here for you. We got at the 101, Marvin Harrison Jr. goes, and I happen to have the next three picks, so don't really worry too much about the order, but I went with Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb Williams. So it's a super flex league. Before the draft last year, I had basically no quarterbacks on my roster. Now I've got CJ Stroud, I've got Anthony Richardson, and just now added Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams to the team. Then after me went Drake May at the 105. So not too surprised there. After that, I went ahead and paired up Roma Dunze with Caleb Williams and got Brock Bowers because I'm really thin at tight end. As you can see right here, got Brock Bowers, Noah Fant, Juwan Johnson. Those are pretty much my starters at this point. And from there, after that, went Xavier Worthy out of Texas. Excited to see that. It was super fast. Can't blame the pick. But, for me at that point, I was really struggling. I thought J.J. McCarthy might be gone already. I like the situation that he's in. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on J.J. McCarthy. I was actually deciding between him and Jonathan Brooks. I tried to make a trade. Just didn't really want to pass on the value of getting a starting quarterback. There's some teams in the league that definitely need some quarterbacks. So I feel like might have some trade opportunity down the line. I addressed the running back in a much different way, as you'll see here in a moment. But Jonathan Brooks goes at the 110 to close out the first round. And in the second round, we've got Bo Nix starting things off. That team had back-to-back picks. After that, you got Lab McConkey, Keon Coleman, Brian Thomas Jr., Trey Benson, Michael Penix Jr., Ricky Pearsall, Roman Wilson, Jermaine Burton, and Xavier Leggett in the second round. And in this league, we had a consolation prize for the loser bracket. The winner gets a free pick. So that actually was Adonai Mitchell. That's who goes after Xavier Leggett here. It's just not shown, but he ends up getting Adonai Mitchell going over to the Zeke and the Capo crew team over here. So he gets Adonai Mitchell. And another Texas wide receiver really fast. I think that's a good pick. And then after that, starting the third round is Troy Franklin, followed by Jalen Polk. And then I went on the beginning of my running back run here. Went with Blake Corum, Marshawn Lloyd. Good draft capital from those guys. I think they're one injury away or even 1 or 2 seasons away from being a starting running back on those teams that, the Packers really young team, like what they can do there. And then after that goes Jalen Wright. I was deciding between him, but Wright got drafted in the 4th round and realized the other 2 guys went in the 3rd, so decided to just go with the draft capital there. After that, I was back on the clock. I'll be honest, I thought Jalen Wright might fall to me here, but not sad to go ahead and take Ben Sinnott. Felt good about the pick. Really, again, we got Darren Waller on the team. He's considering retirement. So I've got Brock Bowers, but I figured with the second round draft capital, already having Jaden Daniels, might as well get that pair going. So took Ben Sinnott at the 306. After that goes Malachi Corley. And then I'm back on the clock. Continue that running back run with Will Shipley. Good offense. Maybe he can be a good pass catching weapon there. After that, you've got Javon Baker, who goes to 309, and Jalen McMillan goes in the 3rd round. I really like this player. Got some good talent. Just got to see if he can get some availability with some of those top receivers over there. And to begin the 4th round, you got Jatavian Sanders, tight end out of Texas, now with the Carolina Panthers. Definitely see him having a role darn near immediately. 402 goes Kamani Vidal, Chargers running back, got some upside there. After that goes Audric Estime, Bucky Irving, who's drafted ahead of some of the guys ahead of him, but a lot of people have a lot of faith in Rachaad White, so we'll see if Bucky Irving gets an opportunity. Didn't test too amazingly, but got really good hands. Think he can carve out a role over there. They definitely need somebody. At the 405, Jared Wiley goes. Could be the tight end of the future with the Chiefs. And then I go Isaac Arendo just for some upside of a backup running back here at the 406. After that goes Spencer Rattler. And then it's Braylon Allen. And then I'm back on the clock. I go Rasheen Ali and Ray Davis, two RB2s on the team. Anything could happen. Maybe if it's just a week or two, you can get some use out of these guys. And after that, I thought this was a really good pick at the 504. This was a pick they traded on the clock. Went ahead and moved up to get Luke McCaffrey. I was a couple picks away. Definitely was considering him there. So third round draft capital. I think that's a savvy little pick there. Devontae Walker goes to missing no here, and he might have the opportunity to be wide receiver 2 over there at some point. And then I go Tyron Tracy Jr., running back with the Giants. He could be the number 2 over there, and maybe down the line in the future has a expanded role. Got some other tight ends who in the future I think could be starters at some point, and Cade Stover, Theo Johnson. And because I had Zamir White, I went with Dylan Lobb just to see if I could get a couple shots here at that backfield. Really just needed some more running back depth. I've got Breece Hall and Zamir White, and that was about it. So I ended up walking away with 8 running backs here. And, just to close out the draft, Aniyah Smith goes to Kitten Party. He went to A&M, so no surprise there. You've got Jonnu Smith. So another Smith goes. And Samaje Perine. So some bets there at the end of the draft, because why not, versus taking some more dart throws. So I thought that was pretty good draft. Some good picks were made there. Let's see this. So I can narrow it down just to the teams. So this Kitten Party team walked away with Luke McCaffrey, Aniyah Smith. They didn't have too many picks walking into it. So, that's how it goes sometimes. They won a title. They pushed the chips in at one point. All right, you got Xavier Worthy, Roman Wilson, Xavier Leggett, double Xavier, Kamani Vidal, and Braylon Allen going to Fluffy Puppy's team. Not bad. Bucker and the boys. This is a contender for top draft right here. Marvin Harrison Jr., Jonathan Brooks, Bo Nix, Trey Benson, Troy Franklin, Jatavian Sanders. So you walk away with the starting tight end, a couple of running backs that we expect to be starting running backs. You got starting quarterback and a starting wide receiver who's paired with Bo Nix, getting that college connection back together. And then obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. I think this is a really good draft. So let's keep going. Missing no. Lab McConkey, Ricky Pearsall, Jermaine Burton, Devontae Walker. Yeah, like the opportunity for Lab to be wide receiver 1 over there. Ricky Pearsall, first round draft capital, 207. That's pretty good value, I think. So good receivers there. Went all receivers in this draft. Interesting. I like the players you got though. And then here, Zeke and the Cabo crew walks away with Drake May at the 105. That's pretty standard nowadays. That's pretty good. And then Jalen Wright, explosive running back out of Miami. Jared Wiley has got that opportunity to take over, and same with Theo Johnson. So some good opportunities out of these tight ends. He definitely had a big need at that tight end position, if I recall. And let's go over here to Unsportsmanlike Conduct's team. Michael Penix Jr., Jalen Polk. All right, Javon Baker and Jonnu Smith. Yeah, and this Michael Penix Jr. at the 206, I think that's a good value. This is one of the teams that was in the Super Bowl this past season. So, good little stash at the QB position for the future. Hopefully Polk produces this year. He's got a shot at either one of these Patriots wide receivers. So he's hoping for something there. Not too much that might help the team this season, but we'll see. And I'm feeling like beating golf with my cousins. They've got Keon Coleman and, Samaje Perine. So not too much added to the team here, but I do like him pairing Keon Coleman with Josh Allen. All right, and let's go move on to Cooks 3, even more Cooks. So they got Brian Thomas Jr. at the 204. I think that's a good value. Bucky Irving, Spencer Rattler, Cade Stover could be the future tight end for Houston, paired with CJ Stroud. That's not bad. And then again, here's my team. I know I talked about it a ton. I had 15 picks, so a lot going on. Kind of hard to keep up here with all of these picks, and I'm gonna have to figure out who to cut. It's gonna be really difficult to make that decision, but should be fun. And definitely feel like I filled a lot of holes. Malik Neighbors, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, Brock Bowers, JJ McCarthy, Blake Corum, Marshawn Lloyd, Ben Sinnott, Will Shipley, Isaac Arendo, Rasheen Ali, Ray Davis, Tyron Tracy Jr., and Dylan Lobb. Yeah, quite a haul. All right, and then we've got the champion, Bijan Dak of Lamb, Bijan Crested, Dak Lamb. Let's check their team out. So Malachi Corley, Jalen McMillan, good value there on both of those guys. Third round wide receivers in real life. Audric Estime, RB2 for the Denver Broncos. He could be good. And Tyler Conklin, now that he's got Aaron Rodgers, he may be able to improve upon those 87 catches he gets every year. Yeah, I like these teams. I mean, I think overall the people who had picks made the most of them. There's definitely some teams like this one that just didn't really have any picks, so not too much that they could do with it. But still, there are some teams I think made out pretty well, filled some holes. This team has Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, so they've got some quarterbacks already, and made sure that they got some receiver help to just fill in where they were hurting a little bit this past season, where they were had Chris Olave and Drake London, but Deontay Johnson didn't have a great quarterback play. Higgins had an injured quarterback, so there's some upside with this team. We just got to see how some of these things play out. There's a trade to T. Higgins that could help in a big way, and then maybe one of those rookies comes along by the second half of the season and does something for him. And yeah, just giving y'all a quick chance to look at some of these teams and see how how you think they may have actually fared in this draft. Because again, this one I think maybe got two. I think just by the pure volume, my team with those 15 picks really filled a lot of holes. I don't have to worry about quarterback anymore. And but that team really, this Bucker and the boys team, I think they did a good job filling in some of the other holes. So they still got the quarterback they needed. They got Trevor Lawrence, now Bo Nix, since they lost Justin Fields this past season, and then you got a Marvin Harrison Jr. paired up with a Jamar Chase. That's really nice. So building that receiver core into something potentially very lethal and hard to beat, and then you got some running backs that you can rely upon there too. Really like that draft, and just giving you guys a chance to see these other rosters paired with these rookie picks that they had, and I think these people made out pretty good. Yeah, let me know what you think. Go through these one more time just so you can see. But here this is a team with Drake May added to just a Joe Burrow that they had before. So really they were struggling, but now I think they're in a pretty good spot. Yeah. All right. So that was pretty much the draft. Let me know what you would have done. In this type of league, you don't want to necessarily hoard all these quarterbacks. You definitely want some of these skill positions, but I'm still going to trust that throughout the season, a lot of those running backs that I ended up with, eventually there's going to be some opportunity that goes their way and they'll be able to get a shot. So maybe I don't have the answer of who's going to be my, flex players right now, but I think over the course of the season, I got enough depth there that we'll be able to figure this thing out and really be able to make some noise here later in the season. And I'm curious if anyone else had a draft this Memorial Day weekend. It's a big draft weekend for a lot of folks. And let me know who you guys would have taken, if there's any sleepers that are on y'all's radar, and who you might have gone with some of these picks. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.